And it's a very hard thing. I personally think that while it's a lovely tool, by and large, I think that the internet is contributing to the death of musical theater.
Right.
I do. It's because there is no safe place anymore, and the biggest part about it is that, and I understand on the one hand where this comes from. You're paying $100 to see a show and all that kind of stuff, but I think a lot of the people on the internet, I may be wrong, but I think a lot of people on the internet who are younger, who tend to be like the rush seat people anyway, who aren't usually paying top price. Right. They know where the discounts are.
Right.
Yet they let other people on these websites decide whether or not they're going to go see a show.
Right.
Which to me is antithetical. If you love theater that much, you should see everything.
Right.
You should find a way to see everything.
Right.
Be it, I was going to say Moose Murders, and probably no one knows what that is. But
Urban Cowboy, because it shared this theater.
It was in this theater, But go decide for yourself.
Right.
Because one person's Urban Cowboy is another person's Wicked.
Right.
And it's what makes the world go round. And I'm not saying that shows shouldn't be criticized.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm under any misconceptions with Lennon being a perfect show. I'm not. I mean, I think there are things that were attempted and didn't work, or all that kind of stuff. But to think that, once upon a time, you had to have a friend in Boston who could go to the out-of-town tryout and would say, yeah, it's blah, 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 and the buzz just happened verbally.
Right.
Like in the old days.
Never.
When I was a youngin',
you were born in 1912.
Yes. And we would just take our covered wagon and we would go down to Manhattan and be like, y'all need to see Oklahoma. That's how that worked back then.
Right.
But,
not so much anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it's very hard, and it's,
well, everyone can see
right.
it.
I mean, for any of us who've ever said, we don't go into chat rooms, you always go in every once in a while.
Right.
Because it's just like a horrible car crash.
Right.
And it's all fine and well when they're nice to you, and then of course there's the post that calls you fat.
Right.
And that's all you remember.
Right.
But it is hard, when you feel like you're on the crap end of the stick and you're not the darling of the Broadway, and you're like kind of scraping to try and get folk to come in. And it takes a little while to win them now.
Right.
Because now they've gone from, oh, we're going to see Lennon, to, oh, we have tickets to that show, Lennon. I hear
Right.
it's awful. Now, hopefully, once they come, by the end of the show, we've turned them over to,
Right.
so there's something about having no expectations.
Right.
It's certainly,
Well,
when you have no expectations, we surprise you.
Right. And as actors, there's only so much you can do outside of the show. I mean, once you're in the show, you're
exactly.
in it.
And it is hard. And Alex Corey is a wonderful actress who's in All Shook Up.
Yeah.
When we did the Wild Party together, she taught me this, and I've always taken it to heart. She said, when she was a kid, when she was like 12 years old, I was 12 years old.
This is a good impression of her.
My mother would bring me in to see the shows. And she said, I was enthralled with everything I saw. And, and she said that when she gets bad audiences that are just quiet for whatever reason, she just remembers that sitting out there somewhere is the equivalent of her 12-year-old self. There is always somebody who is digging this show. There was somebody digging Taboo. There was someone digging on Urban Cowboy. There was someone digging Brooklyn. And it's changing their life for whatever reason.
Right.
And you just do the show for that person. As opposed to, because it's easy. It's hard to not suddenly put in like the pouty, well, screw you performance.
Right.
You're not going to come with me? Well, then forget it.
Right. And
I'm not turning my stuff out for you.
Right, exactly.
Blech.
Why bother?
I'm going to go to my room.
Exactly.
And instead, I just think of little 12-year-old Alex Corey going, yay! Bravo!
That could be frightening,
I'm
actually.
sorry about that. I'm sorry. But, I do. She taught me that, and I really, I remind myself, I try to remind myself of that when...
She also must have taught you how to do an impression of her, because that's pretty good.
I just enjoy her company, so I just try to pick up, I do a killer Kristen Chenoweth. Okay.
Let's hear.
Costs money.
Oh, okay.
It's a popular girl.
Julia Murney, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you.
I hope you get to run for 6 more years.
Well, thank you very much. Peace, love, and understanding. Shine on, baby. Shine on.